Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is my review of the iPhone X. Should you go out and spend $1,000 on this device, this technology right here? Is it worth it? We're going to find out right now. Now, first up, I'm coming from the iPhone 6 Plus. So this is a significant jump for me. Now I'm getting 3D touch. And, you know, I'm getting all the special features that I missed out on older iPhones or iPhones after this. Now, let's talk about the features of the iPhone X. Now, this is featuring a 5.8 Super Retina display. This is the first ever iPhone to feature an OLED display. So, thank you, Samsung, for allowing Apple to make this display. And hey, I'm not mad. You gotta do what you gotta do. And as you guys can see, rich blacks, very, very vivid colors. But at the same time, it's accurate. It's not as saturated as the Galaxies, but, you know, it's giving you that perfect amount of color. I took a nice little portrait of myself. I gotta say, the portrait mode, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Yeah, very, very nice colors, very, very natural colors. I like that a lot. And like I said, the camera's not really doing justice, but this thing is beautiful. Now, also, what's powering this iPhone is the A11 Bionic chip, which to this day, this is the fastest smartphone to date. We gotta wait until the Galaxy. I heard the Galaxy X is coming out. 4K at 60 frames per second camera. I love the fact how Apple moved the flash into the camera, so it's very, very neat. Nothing else on the back. So there's, you know, very, very neat design. By the way, this case that you guys are seeing right now, this is a Caseology case. So if you guys did miss my case video, I'll throw that link in the description, or a card will be on screen. And yeah, overall, this is a very, very beautiful phone. Let's take it out the case so you guys can get a better idea. As you guys can see, I went with the silver one because, well, it just reminded me of the original iPhone, which I do have somewhere. Hold on. Yep, perfect, right here. The original iPhone, the iPhone 2G or the iPhone 1, whatever you like to call it, it just reminds me of it because, well, you have the stainless steel on the side and you have the black frame, the black bezels. And yeah, it just reminds me of that feeling. And the back of it just reminds me of that iPhone 4S from back in the days. And speaking of the glass back, this does support wireless charging. So thank you, Apple, for finally including the wireless charging to your iPhone. So that includes the iPhone X or iPhone X, the iPhone 8, 8 Plus. This has got to be the cleanest iPhone to date. The back of this phone is no FFC labels, it's no serial numbers. It just simply say iPhone. If you guys hearing some background noise, I think my neighbors is doing something. I really do apologize for that. It is what it is. And the Apple logo chrome, I love this color so much. In my opinion, this is the best color for the iPhone X. If you into like flashing out your iPhone, this is the color to get. If you into the more stealthy feeling, get the space gray. It's all black for the most part. And yeah, it's not too flashy as the silver one. But for the most part, design is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Very, very premium. The stainless steel and the glass back and the glass front, it's just so premium. It really do feel like you spend $1,000 on the phone. Me personally, I like to drop a case on it because, well, the Apple Care, if you don't have Apple Care on this phone, good luck. Put a case on your phone. It does take away from that design, but it is going to have you protected. The camera, the front facing camera, inside of it you have the Face ID, so you guys see that little blinking. I can't see it in real life, but you guys can see it on camera. Why it's doing that is because I have this ticked on. So now, attention awareness. So if I'm looking at my phone, it's going to automatically stay awake for me. But if it's face down, or if I'm not looking at it, it's going to automatically put the phone on sleep mode within 30 seconds. And speaking of that, no home button. Right, so you guys see I'm just going to home. No home button. I got used to it day one. No problem at all. Not having a home button is so much faster, so much fluid, and so seamless at the same time. So if I go into the App Store, bloop, I'm home. iTunes, bloop, just so much fluid and so much easier to just go home. Just go to your local Apple Store and give it a shot yourself because it's just so much better. Now, if you want to go to the App Switcher, Apple is telling you to swipe up and hold, but I think that's the slow way of doing it. Now what I do, I make an L shape, so it's just so much faster to do it like that. You know, there's many ways you can do it. You can swipe from the side like this and launch it up like that, or you can do either side if you like. Of course, you still have your reachability, which I do use a lot. So if you swipe down from where the bar is, you could do a reachability. So that's how you do it. Now Siri is moved to the side button, so if I press and hold this, you have Siri.
I'm sorry, Sean.
And yeah, I think that having the Siri button on the side is so much easier because when you're holding your phone this way, it's a little bit more comfortable. Like, it's just like when you launch a Siri like this, it's just not as comfortable. Let's launch Siri on this phone. You know, it works, it gets the job done, but it's just so much easier and so much cozier to press Siri using the side button. And that leads me to the next thing. The side button is longer than a traditional iPhone. You know, I don't know, it's easier to press since it's longer. Now, I wouldn't really recommend pressing the side button or the volume up and down button so much because I never have any luck with my volume up and down buttons. This is my old iPhone. My volume up and down button is messed up. See, like you guys can see, it's just not good. I pressed it so many times to the point where the button just, it got jammed and I don't know how to unjam it. And obviously I don't want to go to Apple and Apple screwing me with the prices. I don't want to go through that. And by the way, this is a skin from D brand. I'm not sponsored by them. I might remove this skin now. It's just getting all icky now. Now another feature, let's test out the Face ID. Now I'm behind the camera, so you know it's a little hard for me to do this. Look, as soon as I got behind the camera or got to the side, it automatically unlocked my phone. And it's fast. It works 98% of the time. A lot of people don't like that slide up from the bottom action. And I understand why Apple did it like this because, well, if you have notifications and you want to look at your notifications, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you to look at those notifications and your phone unlocked because it scanned your face. So I kind of like that swipe up, but I feel like Apple should have gave you the option. It comes in really handy if I'm logging into like apps and stuff or even stuff from Safari. It comes in really handy and so seamless because it automatically scans your face and you're already in. Now, if you have a twin, identical twin, I wouldn't recommend you go out and buy this phone because your twin will be able to get into the phone using Face ID. That's insane. So I know Face ID second generation is going to improve that, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't have a twin, so who cares? You guys might care. That might be a huge deal breaker for you though. I really do miss having a fingerprint scanner because if you're in class or you're in the office and your phone is at an angle and you standing right here, it's going to be hard for the iPhone to scan your face. So like I'm behind the camera. Now, if I want to unlock my phone, I have to lift it up and then it's good to go. But sometimes you want to quickly glance at your iPhone. And now, hopefully, Apple can fix this problem if they have an always on display. Maybe you just want to check your notifications and that's it. You can't see your notifications unless your phone is scanned. So maybe, you know, if you're in the office, you have to lift your phone up, which can be an inconvenience, or you can enter in your passcode. So, you know, I just like having the options. Maybe the second generation of the iPhone 10, maybe the iPhone 11, maybe they might include a fingerprint scanner underneath the display or on the side. I don't know what Apple's going to do. Something else I want to talk about is the notch. The notch doesn't bother me too much. The first day it kind of did bother me, especially when you're watching videos or movies. It bothered me a little bit, but not so much. Because after a while, you'll get used to it. Trust me, you'll get used to this stuff. And look, having a notch, it looks bad on camera. But after a while, when you're using the device, it's not so bad after all. It's not really that bad. And when you're watching videos or movies, 9 times out of 10, your videos or YouTube videos will look like this. Now, you have massive black bars, and it's going to make it feel like you're watching videos on your iPhone 8, 7, or even 6. Now, you can zoom it in for the immersion and just having the immersiveness of having no bezels. But the thing is, your content will be cut off once you do that. Now, I find that a little annoying because sometimes if I'm watching like for example, Everyday Struggle, they might have the text box on the side. Sometimes the notch blocks it. Then you know, it's just not, it's not good. So I find myself zooming in and then zooming out because I like that immersive display. Having no bezels is a huge deal on a smartphone. Now I'm starting to see that. But when you zoom it in like this, it's kind of whack having those black bars. And that leads me to the next thing. If you're coming from an iPhone Plus model, whether it's the iPhone 6 Plus, 7 Plus, or even 8 Plus, this X display, the iPhone 10's display is actually taller. It's actually narrow. Like, you're losing width, but you're getting more screen up and down instead of side to side. Yeah, so I don't know if that might be the biggest deal breaker in the world, or it might be a good thing for you. When you on Instagram, let's go on Instagram for a second. Oops. Right? I just feel like you can see more of the screen. So you can see the next post. So, okay, we had Panko. Panko is next. But you can't see that until you scroll up a little bit. So it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world. But, ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world. But I just feel like you get more information on the iPhone 10. But the iPhone Plus model is a little bit more wider. So just keep that in mind. That's another thing too. Like, you're not gonna get that full landscape support. So you have a nice little side-by-side view on the iPhone 6 or the Plus model. Nice little side-by-side view. But this, you're just getting your notes. And yeah, you can do that with the Plus model, which is handy. This is my first iPhone to not feature a headphone jack. And I gotta say, it's pretty whack. It's pretty whack because there was a time where I carried my headphones. I had my headphones, but I didn't have the dongle. This is also the thickest and heaviest iPhone to date. Oh my god, Siri, shut up. I love you, Siri, but come on. The battery life on this thing is pretty solid thanks to the OLED display and the efficiency of the A11 Bionic chip. This kind of helps with the battery life, but the battery life is actually smaller compared to the Plus model of the iPhone 8. Everything is just so edge to edge, truly edge to edge in a sense. And yeah, Apple did advertise to be really edge to edge too, because it really do have all screens on each corner except for the notch in the center. Now let's talk about the most important feature, Animojis. Animojis is the key selling point of the iPhone 10. Now look, as I'm talking, the chicken is talking at the same time. It's mimicking my movement at the same time. So I'm looking at you guys right now, well, looking at the camera, and everybody can really have Animojis, but Apple chose to make this an iPhone exclusive. If I cover up the camera, it's not really used in a true depth camera system. It's just using a front facing camera. So, you know, every iPhone can have this. I see Apple gonna put this in iOS 12 on other iPhones, but for now it's only on the iPhone 10. Now another thing too, I feel like Apple could have added more emojis, more Animojis, because by the time you use up every emojis, it gets stale after a while. But overall, is this phone worth $1,000? This is the 256 gigabyte. I went crazy on this iPhone, and I gotta say, it's not really worth $1,000. But if you really like an Apple guy like me, if you love Apple, you love iOS, you love iPhones, then yeah. If you have the money to spend and you need a new phone, if you have the iPhone 4S right now and you need that upgrade desperately, the iPhone 10 is definitely right for you. But just, I don't know, if you're coming from Android, you are going to have some things to get used to, like iOS. If you're coming from an iPhone already, this is just like, any other iPhone. It's just a different look. So yeah, so yes and no. If you have the money to spend $1,000 to spend, go out and buy this phone. If you love iPhones and you have that extra cash to spend, yeah, buy it. But if you're on a tight budget, I wouldn't really recommend this phone. Wait until next year. I know for a fact the price is going to go down. So if I have to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm gonna give this a 4.5. The only reason why I didn't give it a perfect score is because, well, it's too pricey, and yeah, really, that's it. It's just too pricey. It's a good phone. The home button, not having one, is you get used to it after a while. That's not really a problem. Oh yeah, and I forgot about this. You can actually switch back and forth to the apps, your previous app. This phone is good. It's fast. It's fluid. Keep in mind, I can't really complain about the price too much because at the end of the day, this phone can pretty much do anything. You could pay your bills, you could watch videos, watch TV. Think about it for a second. This is your computer in your pocket, literally. This is stainless steel, so you gotta be very, very careful. Case is so mandatory on the iPhone 10. This will scratch up easy. This is just like the Apple Watch. And guys, that concludes my iPhone 10 or iPhone X review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, I appreciate it with a thumbs up. Comment down below because your feedback is always appreciated. It's your boy Pops, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Later.